The brand new Lego Fortnite update is here and it's not looking good. It's a controversial time in Lego Fortnite right now, and here's why. 2 weeks ago we got the arrival of the absolutely amazing Mechanical Mayhem update, and as popular as it was, it quite clearly came with quite a few big problems. And sadly it appears that at this moment in time, Epic have decided to absolutely ignore those issues. Some of the major things that people wanted fixed in this Lego Fortnite update were first of all the durability of vehicles, which was far too low, meaning that they fall apart really quickly. In this update, annoyingly and sadly, the vehicles in terms of durability have received absolutely no changes whatsoever. On top of that, something that I would say is an even bigger problem is their vehicles constantly falling over. That major problem has also not been touched on either. These were probably the two biggest problems that we got with vehicles in the Mechanical Mayhem update, and now that the 29.20 update has landed in Lego Fortnite, I'm genuinely surprised that they haven't addressed these at all. Fans were absolutely begging for some kind of flip button like we have in Battle Royale in order to get their vehicles the right way again, without having to use ridiculous tricks like attaching balloons or thrusters to them in order to make it happen. With that said though, although Epic hasn't fixed these major issues with vehicles that people really need sorting, they have luckily changed some stuff which I'm pretty sure fans are going to like. First off, they have stated that they have fixed issues where vehicles would disappear in certain circumstances. And I don't know about you, but I know for sure that I have 100% experienced this many times. I would approach my vehicle and it would genuinely look like half of the pieces of the actual vehicle were completely missing, until I decided to stand on top of the vehicle and they would pop right back in again like some kind of magic trick. According to Epic themselves, these problems are now fixed. So it's going to be very interesting for people to see when they jump into their survival world whether that is 100% true or not. Next up, we have a fix for vehicles which I am genuinely really excited about because recently it caused me some major problems. According to Epic, it's now safe to transport chests on your vehicle because they've got improved traction which will allow vehicles to move more easily up hills. As you can see on screen, in some recent gameplay that I was recording, travelling in a vehicle with chests on top of it was an absolute nightmare. It was extremely difficult to get up hills and this thing would fall over every 30 seconds. So according to Epic, this is going to be a little bit better now with improved traction for vehicles whilst they've got chests on top. So hopefully that does improve things slightly. With that said though, if I was to take a guess, I'm going to assume that it's not going to stop the issues with vehicles falling over constantly. And of course, without the introduction of a flip button like we're all asking for, it seems like that is still going to be a major issue in the game until they finally sort it. But ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Epic Game because they have actually done one thing in this update that I know loads of Lego Fortnite fans are going to love. Dynamic objects can now go through large doorways and you can now drive your car through an open garage door. This might seem like a tiny addition to the game, but I know loads of people who have been building all of these vehicles and brand new bases will be really happy to see this. As you can see on screen, people, it's taken 2 weeks, but you can now finally do it. If you're driving one of the slightly smaller vehicles, you can actually fit it properly through a garage door now. Of course, you're not going to be able to do that with the hauler because it is way too big. But even with the smaller vehicles, previously, this couldn't happen. You just could not get it through a garage door for some reason. Luckily, that is now changed, and I know that's going to put a big smile on a lot of fans' faces. Next up, I've got a very, very interesting one for you people because this is a change to Lego Fortnite that I don't really think anybody's going to care about. Apparently, Lego Fortnite have fixed the issue of the supply drop being empty. And that is probably going to affect about 1% of the player base. And why, you ask? That is because I think the majority of people don't even bother opening supply drops anyway, because the loot inside is just not even worth it when you're in the endgame of Lego Fortnite. So although yes, any kind of fix in Lego Fortnite is always going to be considered a good thing, I don't really consider this particularly crazy because I can't imagine many people bother collecting supply drops now anyway. The fixes keep coming as small jacks no longer crumble when attaching a large dynamic foundation. This may not be an absolutely massive fix to the game and something that everybody was asking for, but if you were into building custom vehicles, this is probably pretty good for you. But I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, as you can see on screen, it really doesn't look like this is fixed at all. I have tested this out in sandbox mode, and as soon as you put a large foundation on a small jack, it crushes it exactly the same as it did before. So unless I'm missing something, it really doesn't look like this fix worked at all. And also, apparently, wheels will now display damage numbers when attacked. So if you have built one of the brand new vehicles and your wheels get damaged, you will now know exactly what has happened to them as it's going to showcase that damage. I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me that this is a very, very minor change. Don't get me wrong, could be pretty useful if you've had your wheels damaged, you want to know exactly what has happened to them, so you might want to change them. But compared to the vast majority of major things that we need fixing with vehicles, this just doesn't compare. And there were two other very small things that Lego Fortnite has apparently fixed with this update. They have supposedly fixed an issue where you could not place the railing in step 6 of the Tower Manor build. And I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but I can't imagine there's many people who are too excited about that. Of course, any fix in Lego Fortnite is good, but I haven't seen anybody mentioning this one in terms of something they wanted doing, so it seems unlikely that anybody will even notice it. And then finally, they have fixed an issue where sidewalk foundations were not unlocked when meeting the unlock conditions on existing worlds. I mean, I've heard some boring sentences in my time in relation to Lego Fortnite, but that's got to be up there as one of the most tiring. This is of course a very small fix which has probably not affected that many people, but nonetheless, if it was an issue for any other players out there, at least it's now solved. But fixes to the game mode are not the only things that have arrived in the 29.20 update. Something very interesting is the fact that the well-known Rue Fortnite skin has actually now got a Lego style. This skin has essentially been banned from the item shop for an extremely long period of time due to massive controversy that's surrounding it that I'm definitely not going to go into in this video. But as I mentioned, it has got a brand new Lego style, so if you own this skin, you will have a Lego version of it now. That usually means that the skin is going to come back to the item shop in the very near future, but leakers have pointed out with this skin though, although it did get a brand new Lego style, it did not get a shop asset. So it's highly possible that this was just a Lego version of the skin being given to players who already own it, and it won't be coming back to the shop due to the massive controversy that surrounds it. You never know though, I guess we'll have to wait and see. You will probably also be extremely happy to know that like every single Lego Fortnite update that we get, there are tons of new Lego styles for Fortnite skins. There is a whole host of them up on screen right now, so if you happen to own any of these skins right here, when you log into the game, you should have a brand new Lego style for them. And although I may have been hammering Epic slightly in this video, it's always a really nice thing of them to do to give people tons of Lego styles for skins that they already own, so a massive thank you for the devs for that one. Anybody that also plays a ton of Battle Royale as well will know that Avatar is finally in the game. And with new skins arriving in the item shop, this of course affects Lego Fortnite players too, because every single one of these skins has a Lego version. That will also be the case for the Aang skin, which is going to be arriving in the event pass very soon. So if you're a really big fan of that show, don't panic, you are going to be able to play as your favourite characters in your Lego survival world. Not only that, but coming with those skins is a whole host of Avatar themed emotes. And generally this kind of thing may not really affect Lego Fortnite. But luckily, there are Lego versions of these emotes with some of them looking absolutely incredible. I mean, come on, little mini Lego versions of cabbages. Now you get to recreate the famous scene from the show, but in Lego style. I also have to mention something that we can now do in Lego Fortnite that we've not actually been able to do since the launch of the game mode. You can officially now griddy in Lego Fortnite. Tons of players were really surprised that this didn't actually exist when the game mode first launched. It's taken a little while, but it's now finally here. A Lego version of one of the most popular emotes in Fortnite history. And in terms of the stuff that has been changed or added as part of this Lego Fortnite update, that is pretty much everything. And I think it's safe to say that Lego Fortnite has not exactly smashed it out of the park with this update. I'm not sure many players were expecting a ridiculous amount of content in this update after we got Mechanical Mayhem a couple of weeks ago, but they were very much hoping and expecting some serious changes and fixes to the major issues. We needed improvement to vehicle durability, it's nowhere to be seen. We needed the addition of a flip feature in order to get your vehicles the right way again, and it's not here. And still, months later, after the launch of this game mode, we do not have any kind of fix for the high complexity building issues, and that is something that players are still really angry about. They managed to pull back quite a good number of players into the game mode with the Mechanical Mayhem update, but they really needed to follow that up with some major changes in terms of vehicles and other parts of the game too, and they just haven't done that. If they want to be able to keep all of those people playing this absolutely amazing game mode, they've got to follow up those large updates with changes that players are really asking for. And sure, some of the small fixes that we've got today are definitely a positive for people, but compared to the major issues that I've just spoken about, they don't even scratch the surface. So unfortunately, a pretty underwhelming Lego Fortnite update, but fingers crossed that in the near future we get some amazing stuff that everybody's looking for. And so that is pretty much everything I've got for you in today's video, people. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.